Welcome to the Leap Stories, and my guest today is Gautam Khetrapal. Hi Gautam.
Hi.
Thank you for being with us and actually being willing to share your story with us as well. So I'll shoot straight, and my first question is, tell us a little bit more about yourself and who you are, what you do, as I'm sure the guys are really curious to know.
My name is Gautam Khetrapal. I grew up in India. I'm currently in Mind Valley. I'm leading one of their marketing teams. It's the product launch team. And I'm also starting to run conferences on life design starting in India from October. So that's what I do. There's one pattern that I have to see in my personality in just hindsight. It's like every single time I notice people going in one direction, it's just a trigger in my head to just stop and just go in the other. And the best way for you to get me to do something is to tell me not to do it. Unfortunately, my girlfriend knows it really, really well. So, but yeah, it's always been that pattern, and then that has got me to places that just this idea or behavior has always got me to question when I was in my school or in my university. After I joined my university reluctantly, even while I was questioning it, and then all the steps that I ended up taking just kept on pushing me in the direction of. Long story short, just kept on pushing me in the direction of personal growth, life mastery, identifying how can I constantly grow my mind, my body, my career, my relationships, and that's become sort of like an obsession. And I'm at a point right now where I'm actually going all in with all these information. So.
And how did you get to do what you do today? I mean, you touched upon the fact that you work for Mind Valley on one end, and you're sort of venturing into building up a concept or a series of conferences on basically life designing. How did you get to that point? You had a series of interesting experiences along the way, so could you maybe touch upon that bit?
I was actually, I believe I was born to do this, and not in a philosophical way, but like my environment, my upbringing was very, very conducive for me to be in this field. Like my mom is a Reiki master healer and also a science teacher. So she talks about energy healing from a very scientific and physics point of view. And she's the most crazy learner I've ever met. Like she's 6-year-old. She just graduated in psychology just now, being a science teacher. She just keeps on learning, and every time she learned something, she would share it with us. So like when I was 15-year-old, she threw me into meditation, and I reluctantly got into it. Then I was 16 or 17, she read this book on power of subconscious mind, and then she shared that with me. And all I could think of was like, oh yeah, this is interesting. How could I use that to get that girl to date me or something like that? But it was like that very interesting concept, but I could process it with the limited capacity that I had. Then she pushed me into art of living when I was 18 or 19. And so these things just kept on happening. So I was just slowly being dragged into it, partially by my mom. My dad is a businessman, and he's a life philosopher. He's written 2 books on life philosophy.
You have some really good role models to start with, right?
I know, and so can you imagine, this is the kind of environment I grew up in, and this was in India, so this is a rare family environment in India.
What really triggered I'd like to know more about the life designing, and what triggered that?
As I just mentioned, my family is it's just contributed into me being super interested, or just being pushed a little bit towards personal development every one step at a time. And then I basically joined my university reluctantly. I did engineering just like every other Indian, and then I was there in my engineering college, and I didn't want to be there, and I stumbled upon ISEC, and that was another step. ISEC is like a youth-run organization, like aims to develop youth leadership across the globe. It's a really, really powerful personal growth experiential program. So I got deep into personal growth in general from ISEC. So all these things just put together was just culminating.
Puzzles along the way.
It just kept on growing and growing to the point where I realized that I want to be in the field of personal development, and I ended up joining Mind Valley, which is like one of the most innovative companies in the personal growth education space.
And then you said that also you had this, that had always been in your mind to create a conference on the topic of life design, right? And so how did you execute that?
Yeah, so it had been on my mind. It's actually a fairly recent project. It had been on my mind for about 8 months, and the idea is simple. Like how life design as a subject, it's like rapid prototyping process in identifying how can I constantly grow my mind, my body, my career, my relationships, And I think it's the most exciting and fulfilling things to do, and I just want to help people in this pursuit and grow myself in the process, right? Yeah. And I've been wanting to do this for the last 8 months, and right now I'm at Mind Valley University. I ended up taking a business freedom speaking course, which is basically a personal development course disguised as a speaking workshop. It was like super incredible.
So that sort of triggered.
That was
like the time is now.
Yeah, 5 days later, I was like a totally different person, and I had been like extremely camera shy before. I wouldn't go in front of a camera. I would be conscious of my voice. I hate listening to myself.
Yeah.
And
but you said you did Facebook Live.
Yes. So
I want to know about that.
And then one day, I just after the workshop, a day later, I just wanted to rest, stay back at home, and I just literally I was just doing nothing, meeting anyone, and just staying at home, and I just had the idea of, you know what, why don't I just go on Facebook Live and see what people think about it.
Yeah.
I basically, and then my negative chatter started in my mind. Oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? And would people accept it? All those things just started coming in. Then I just stopped myself and said, I just went through a very powerful, intense process, and I should just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Worst thing that can happen is no response. All good. And I went on Facebook Live. And
you said from like what? How many spots you had initially in mind?
Yeah, let me just tell you. So I did the Facebook Live, and it's a 3.5-4 minutes video. It's on my profile. That was the first ever Facebook Live. The first 20 minutes after I did it, there was like 0 responses, like none. And then at that time, my negative chatter started coming in and just kicking in deep. And then after 20 minutes more after that, there was like 3 or 4 likes on the video. I was like, these are petty likes. All my friends, thank you, but I hate you. I hate everyone. I hate my life. And then something really interesting happened. My idea was to do an intimate workshop for about 30 people. 5 months from the time I did Facebook Live in October. And one person said, I'm in, really great idea. Another person said, I'm in, amazing idea, I'm in. Within the first 12 hours, 28 people just confirmed their spot, and I basically have to extend the capacity of the conference right now. And this all happened within just 1 day.
Wow.
And then the next 2 days, I just surveyed everyone, confirmed the dates, confirmed the location, put up a sales page, put up a sales video. Never did any of these things before. It just kept on happening because once I pushed through that first barrier, the other things just became easier.
How do you define the concept of a leap?
Well, to me, it's not really a trigger moment which just happens. It's like a lot of series of moments. There's always this burning idea, or not even a burning idea, this idea or desire that I always have in myself, and experience after experience, it just starts burning and burning more. But there's this fear inside me that always contains it. And it's just stopping it to grow more, and then keeps on heating up. After another experience, heats up more, boils it, and then after a point, there comes one triggering experience where it just explodes.
Wow.
And
like would you say a tipping point? It reaches.
It's a tipping point, or just like an explosion where you
ripple effect.
And after that, you just, and once you make that leap or that go beyond that tipping point, it's very interesting. Everybody has had that in some form or the other, be it approaching the girl that I wanted from me, or like taking the diving certificate when I didn't know how to swim, or opening up to this business idea which I was so self-conscious of for like about 6 to 8 months. And like we've all had that experience once where we just pass through it, and the moment we go beyond to the other point, it's impossible to come back to the old state, and that's what makes it so exciting.
You just set up the ground for my next question, which is like, if you were to recall one of your leap moments or one of your leap stories and share with our audience, what would be that one lesson that you took away from it?
Okay. I actually did just share this most recent one, so it's most fresh in my mind, where like there was so much fear trying to contain it for so long, just me before putting myself out there on a camera in front of like there's 3,500 friends of mine on Facebook, and just putting myself out there to be rejected by them potentially. And it just I came to a point where I said I don't want to be contained by this fear anymore. I just went forward with it. But there had been so many experiences in the 6 months leading up to that moment which were kept on just burning that thing more and more.
So would you say creating that relationship with fear as a lesson?
Yeah, I would. The biggest thing that I've understood by just every single time making that leap again and again is my relationship with fear has changed. So I more externalized it, if you know what I mean. it's not any inside me anymore. It's not that I'm incapable, but
Right.
I know there's this fear which has been embedded in us by design, in our DNA, and I know that it doesn't serve me anymore. So it's more external. It's like a bad roommate for me. It's like, oh, it's always Ricky, so I can always externalize that conversation with Ricky, and I know that okay, this person is saying this to me, and I know it's not me. It's just another person who's by design trying to keep me safe, but it doesn't serve me anymore because I don't live in that environment, and it's just my change in relationship with fear, which has made making these leaps every single time easier and easier.
Wow, I think you just, again, he did all the work for me, really, because you just closed it with the most beautiful words. So thank you very much for sharing your story, and thank you guys for watching, as always. And again, till the next leap story from Barcelona, we've got quite a few more to go. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.